You missed last night. We did a blood. Ma'am Rav. We're at the first asterisk on the right-hand margin.
Okay.
You see the first asterisk? It's about a third of the way down. It's really on the margin. There are two of them. The first one. Hamashuch. Somebody who has a what happened was that he had he had a bris milah, and then afterwards, either through some operation or some sort of, I don't know, I guess it's an operation, I don't know exactly how else it's done. He had an artificial foreskin. In other words, he pulled his aver out until he got a foreskin again.
There is a movie, I have to interrupt, called Yerushalmi
Yeah.
Yevamos. It was serious because he was a Jew that passed off himself off as a German during the war. And he tried to pull his foreskin back so that they wouldn't know that he was Jewish.
Did it work?
Yeah, for the most part.
Okay, so it says here, he shouldn't afterwards get a bris milah again. He shouldn't come to danger because he can actually, it's not a foreskin, it's part of the actual aver, so therefore it can have all sorts of negative ramifications. Amar Rabbi Yosef said, no. That's Bar Kochba. There are many people who had to pull their foreskins, or the Korban says that they were compelled to do so, and then when they rebelled, they all survived. They all got bris milah and they survived. Olida bani and had sons and daughters. Hamashuch v'anolad mohul, somebody who has pulled over this artificial foreskin, or who was born already pre-circumcised. V'amolad shel somebody had bris milah before he converted. Tzarech la'atif menu dam bris, when he converts, or when he's born, you have to make a nick, right, on the aver, and have some blood drip out, because the blood is important for the covenant, right? The blood of the covenant is a very critical thing. Time Shimon Elazar Omer, Shimon Elazar says, "No, nechlu beisham yisrael shenola mohul." Shimon Elazar never had an argument that somebody is born already without foreskin, is born literally circumcised. That one has to take out of him, drip out of him, the blood of the covenant, because he has an orla. It's just absorbed into the regular aver. In other words, halachically there's an orla there because he never underwent the bris milah. So since he never underwent the bris milah, there's an orla, so therefore, you can't cut it off because it's absorbed into the aver. But you drip, you make an incision in order to get some blood. Aman echlukusa, what's the machlokes? Beishamay Beisil. Al Gershon is Gayamol, if you're ready. Excuse me. Had a bris milah before he converted, right? And that's like an Arab. The Arabs have a bris milah, right? So Beishamay says when he converts, you have to make this incision and get from the blood of the covenant. You do not have to get from him the blood of the covenant.
Do we paskin like Beishamay in this case?
What?
Do we paskin like Beishamay in this case? That you do need to have a stop bris.
I believe so. That's true. I believe that's true, although I can't. But it seemed maybe that's like Bavli over the Yerushalmi, because here it sounds like going to Beisil you don't need it. Right. So you're right. But you're right. I think we do require it. So it says, Rabbi Yitzchak bar Nachman said, B'Shem Rabbi Yosef said, Halach divrei Talmud. Halach is like the student who says, which is Rav Shimon Elazar, who says that Beisil and Beishamai also argue. Beisil and Beisil only argue by the case of somebody who's Megayer, but the case of somebody who's born Mohul, that's no argument between Beisil and Beishamai. There, everybody agrees that you have to actually make an incision. Asa Udu Kumi Rav, the case from Rav. He said it stands to reason, since it says that when a kid is born without a foreskin, that his foreskin is absorbed into his body. So Adam Ras teaches us that Orel Barahu, that Chazal were sure he was an Orel, despite the fact that we can't do a full bris on him, only make an incision for blood. But since he has the status of an Orel, the performance of the ceremony of Hatavas Dam Bris, of making the incision for the purpose of the blood dripping out, should be Dochas Shabbos, should push on Shabbos, because it's the bris milah for this person, right? Just as a bris is for a regular person, and push of Shabbos, so too for this person, it's the Hatavas Dam Bris, the dripping of the blood of the covenant, which should push off Shabbos. So says the Gemara, Rabbi Avo Omer, Ein Dochas Shabbos. No, not true. It doesn't push Shabbos because it's not a true bris milah. So Tzarech Latimeru Dam Bris, you must take from the blood of the covenant, but it doesn't push off Shabbos. Says more, Rav Ada bar Achva, Yisrael Chad bar, he had a certain son, Cain, who had this problem that his orla, his foreskin was not apparent, misbar, and he started dealing with him by, trying to get out the orla and try to do bris milah on it, and was not successful. And the kid died because it was too much of an operation for his young kid. Rabbi Yavin said he didn't die, but Nasa Kru Shavcha. The kid became forbidden to join the congregation of Israel because his genitals were damaged, and damaged genitals barred him from joining the congregation of Israel. So therefore his father, then Nisanolov, fasted over him, Shiamus, that he should die, and he did die. Okay? Says Amara, in this
case, if the child is born with an Adam Orla, is the father chayav to do the dam bris of the 8th day, or can he
no?
Until the child
seems like it doesn't make a difference, right?
So maybe in this case we don't know what the father tried to do until his dam bris. Maybe he should have waited until he was 6 months old or something like that.
Maybe, right? Could be. Doesn't say when he did it, but you're right. Could be he should have waited somewhere.
There was no chiyuv that he had to do it on the 8th day.
Well, actually, I take that back. Rabbi Avin said that it had to be done on the 8th day. That's what he did on the 8th day. That was the whole point. Because it says here, well, maybe not. No, you're right. Could be it was on a weekday. That could be. So what did you want to say again?
No, if there was no requirement for the 8th day, they could have waited. They
could have waited. Didn't wait enough, right? Yes. That's possible. Okay, or it says more now. This is kind of a prelude. This line for next more. Orlaso, but it says Orlaso. His Orla you take off. Orla vade derechas Shabbos. A definite Orla pushes off Shabbos. However, ve'ina sofek derechas Shabbos. If it's a question Orla, it doesn't push off Shabbos. And we're going to explain what that is, right? Orlaso. Orlaso vade derechas Shabbos. Orlaso is Orla means when he has a definite. What?
It's a regular
bris. It's regular bris, right. But ain't androgynous derechas Shabbos. But a person is androgynous, he has traits of both genders, his bris doesn't push off Shabbos because it's not a definite Orla. That's what we're saying. It's not a definite Orla. Okay? Shayel Rabbi Yudan Omer, because Rabbi Yudan is to say, we don't pass like him, androgynous doesn't love us Shabbos, and androgynous if he's in danger, right? So he does Shabbos in order to save him. The chayim of kares, and you're also liable for kares if you do not give him a bris milah, right? The halach is if you don't give a bris milah, then you're chayav kares. So even in androgynous, you don't give him proper bris milah, then you're chayav kares, right? Shei Rabbi Yonah Omer, Rabbi Yonah used to say, androgynous lechem leves the Shabbos, androgynous he pushes up Shabbos, and the chayim of kares, and you're liable to kares if you miss the mitzvah, and therefore he has to get it done. But not that's quite a beauty even on Shabbos, but we say not on Shabbos. Okay? So to here, where am I now?
I think you went back.
Yeah. I'm not sure where I am. But let's start from the fifth from that narrow line. Orlaso is Orla Vada Del Shabbos, if definite Orla is Push of Shabbos. Ben Hashmoshes Del Shabbos, the kid was born twilight, so I don't know if it was affiliated with Friday or Saturday and Sunday, so then it has to push of Shabbos, right? Nolad Mahul Doichos Shabbos. If a kid is born with a bris milah, and we just have to do atavas dam bris, then here Tanakama says you don't do that on Shabbos. Shavashamari, because Rishamari says tzarech latim dam bris, right? You have to go and drip the blood out of him, so it's a machlokas, right? So, I guess we still argue? Probably not. They probably also heard this way.
Well, that implies that ein shenoad mal doches Shabbos means that even if it's that it has to be on the 8th day. It's doches Shabbos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, child born already without an orla still has to have the dam bris on the 8th day because it's doches Shabbos.
But that's only if you hold that atavas dam bris is in lieu of a bris milah.
Yeah.
But that's not necessarily the case. That's we're trying to prove that it's not. Again, a loss of dochas Shabbos ain't androgynous dochas Shabbos, not an androgynous individual. Shayar Rabbi say androgynous dochas Shabbos. Rabbi say we don't pass like him. That for androgynous you're dochas Shabbos. The chilim of course you have relations with him, you're liable to kares. Or loss so period. Or loss so we don't pass like that vis-a-vis this halacha, and we say that
the chayil of kares is referring to relations with him, or not having done a bris on him. Your chayil kares.
I think it's not having a bris on it.
That's not what you said.
What did I say?
Having relations with him.
I said that?
Yeah.
Oh boy, that was wrong.
Sorry.
You brought chayil for having relations with kares, but that's not what the Gemara is referring to. You're right. That's good. So says Arloso again. Arloso by the Shabbos ain't Andregas so Shabbos not Andregas. Rabbi Lamer Andregas talking about Shabbos. Andregas would push it off Shabbos if it's a bikuach nefesh case to save him. The chayav and l'koris and chayav koris if he doesn't get a bris milah. Okay, because Allah is telling he doesn't get a bris milah, so then he's chayav koris, right? Similarly, Arla, definite Arla push of Shabbos. So Shabbos. Not if you have a kid who was born twilight, so you don't know whether to be malum the day before, the day after. So that does a push of Shabbos. You have to do it on Sunday.
He went back.
Yeah, I understand it because I understand all jurors. Ain't shalom mol dochas Shabbos. A person who's born mol also doesn't push of Shabbos. Shabei Shammai omer tzarich latif menu dam bris. Despite the fact that Shammai says you have to be made of dam bris, nevertheless it doesn't push of Shabbos. Okay. Everybody has to go up and make the pilgrimage to the Beis Hamikdash on the regalim. Chutz mi cheresh shoyte v'katan, except for a deaf mute, a imbecile, a child, v'tumtum adregus and tumtum adregus. Ma'amar Rabbi, what does Rabbi say about this? The questions Rabbi Yehuda just said over before that an androgynous has a status, it seems like a male, right? So why? What is an androgynous status? Is a lila regal? The Shemina, does he have to go to Yerushalmi? The Shemina minato. Start from here. Rabbi Yochanan ben Avai, Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yochanan ben Avai named Rabbi Yehuda said, Af hasuma, a blind man also has to go up to Yerushalayim. So it sounds like, now he said this in juxtaposition to the previous statement, the poor has to go up to Yerushalayim. Leitz barnash amar af, person does not say af, even, ela dumoyda makamaisa, unless he concedes to the first point and it's continuing on with the first point which he conceded. So therefore over here, it must be if he says af hasuma, that a blind man can't go on
is not required.
Is not
required to go up.
It's not required to go up, right? Because it can't do Yeroeh. He can't see. So if he says Afasuma can't go, and he must go agree that a Tumtum and Adragnos can't go either, because it's saying after they said Tumtum and Adragnos don't go, so he's saying Afasuma, also a blind man can't go, right? You see that?
Well, is Af also or even?
Also. Even. Well, it's even, right? Same idea. Even makes him stronger.
Same thing, okay.
Right. So that means that Rabbi Yehuda Mas Paskin that a Tumtan Atregus are exempt from going to base of Mikdash and pilgrimage. So Mechavish does Rabbi Yehuda. It's kind of contradiction Rabbi Yehuda. Taman Amar Prat. He says over here to exclude Atregus from Lila Regal. But Hacha by Bris Milah, Amar L'Rabbas, he includes them as a requirement to get to Bris Milah. So which one is it? Rabbi Yehuda Rabbanin, Mikra Echanim, Darshan. So Rabbi Yehuda Rabbanin, they both expound on the same passage. It says Orel. It says it has to be Orel. Mata Mulomar Zachar. Why say a male Orel? Obviously, only males are Orel. So Achia Kulo Zachar means he has to be completely male before you give him a position. So what does it mean? Completely male? Not Androgynous, right? Rabbi Yehuda Darsh. Rabbi Yehuda said Darsh is following Zachar Mata Mulomar because Rabbi Yehuda doesn't like this Darsh, right? So he says Mata Mulomar Orel. When it says Orel, what does that mean? Even if one is partially an Orel, he's already rendered unfit for serving the base of Mikdash. Okay? Baram Hacha, however, here, Koz Churcha Prat La. One second. Yeah. Where am I?
Prat Androgynous. Koz.
Yeah, Brahma Koz Churcha Prat Androgynous comes to. It has to be completely Zachar, Kulos to Zachar. It has to be completely male to exclude Androgynous, right?
So, that's Rabbi Yehuda?
Yeah.
So, I thought Rabbi Yehuda said that Androgynous requires a bris milah.
Yeah, but there's a special limud here to tell us that, he doesn't go into
doesn't go up to the base of Mikdash.
Yeah, to the hard base of Mikdash. Right. So that's the point. Here it says Koz Churcha. Koz Churcha means he's got to be completely zach in order to go up to base of Mikdash, in order to have any sense of requirement to go to base of Mikdash. Okay. Says my time on and we learned over there. Katan achoila, a child who's sick. Ein moli masor jarbi. Don't give bris milah until he becomes healthy again. Shmuel Mar afil achas also acham shah achas. Even if fever for 1 hour, matilo ad shloshim yom. You wait for him 30 days before you give him bris milah. We are basically right because we have medicines. Those 30 days, malachil michelba shel truma. It can eat from the wheat germ or whatever constitutes the wheat look like white, like milk, right? So those 30 days can eat from the chelva shel truma, from the white of the milk, right? More is not going to answer. Mal l'sucha shema can he adorn himself with oil of truma? Doesn't say. Lishmini medah. Let's hear from here. Ha'arel v'chol tmeim, and Arel and all the people of Tamei lo yachlu b'truma. They may not eat truma. And Sheim v'avdeihem yochlu, and their sons and daughters, however, can't eat. Okay, so what?
But they are probably mal, probably bris milah. Wouldn't be an Evan Orel.
Yeah, but I might think he only eats because his master eats. So how is an Evan going to eat if his master's not eating? What allows an Evan to eat? The fact that he's owned by a Jewish master.
Right.
A Kohen master.
Right.
If the Kohen's not able to eat, so all the minions under his employ should also be resident, I'm sure, from eating.
Right.
But the father is eating. The Kohen is a baby. And we're talking about a baby who's too sick to have a bris milah.
Yeah.
So, but the father of the baby is also a Kohen, and he's able to eat truma. So, the Eved should be able to, because the father of the baby is eating truma.
What's the shaykhs to the father? Depends who owns the Eved.
So the father does, not the baby.
Why? How do you know that?
Oh.
If he responds. I'm not even sure I understand what you asked.
Again, I don't understand it. They're implying that the Eved may not be able to eat Truma because the child
Doesn't have a bris, right? There's no father. There's no grandfather.
has no father.
Yeah, we'll tell you about where the cotton owns the father.
Because it's
Right.
going in the family.
That's how we got into this in the first place.
Yeah. Okay. So even in my sleep, I could tell they didn't understand your question. Okay. Says the Gemara, Mal- no, we're not there yet, are we? Malasucho.
How we got this whole thing.
Yeah.
Talking about how with the phone guy.
Okay, Malasucho Shabbat Truma. Can you anoint them with oils of Truma? Yishminim Adal Sir from here. Ara V'chot Meim Lo'echel B'Truma. And oil on anybody who's Tamei Shai Truma Shem V'Avdeim Yochelu. His wives and slaves can't. The wives and slaves can't eat. Rabbi Yaakov Shem Tanachum Berebi Chia said, "Ein Orlo El B'Shmini V'Hol." You know what? Even a child who's less than 8 days old doesn't need to have bris milah. He doesn't have an orla to which have bris milah. An orla only is an orla after 8 days. So therefore, until then, he doesn't have the status of a problem. Okay. So it says.
It's an interesting concept.
What?
I don't recall that concept before.
That's true.
Which
That
one?
the Orla doesn't exist. That there's no such.
Oh, there's a famous word from the Brisker Rav. He says, why didn't Avraham Avinu mal himself before he got the command? Now, what would you answer? In other words, he did all of us fulfill the Torah before it was given. Why did he mal himself? Why did he give bris milah before he got commanded? Based on what you just said.
Because there was no. He wasn't until he got the command. There was no Isser.
There was no orla.
There was no Orla.
Only he got only he became an orla when he got the command. So he couldn't do the mitzvah before. That's exactly what he says. Okay. Says Vitani came and lived like this. Kol Shloshim Yom, all 3 days. Also achilu v'chabel shel truma. No, he's not allowed to have milk of truma. V'asa sucho b'shemen shel truma. He's not allowed to be anointed with the oil of truma. Neither. Leila Shmini ma'atavel. It is a cool case. That's only after 30 days.
Well, theoretically,
The first 8 days is okay.
he could.
Right.
After the next 22 days.
Yeah, but now the cool question is Leila Shmini ma'atavel. What about the evening of the 8th day before the bris milah? No, it's after the 7th. It's on the 8th day already, but it's not yet daytime, so you can't do the bris yet. So you might tell you for now what you said in the brisa. Leila Shmini anichlas l'dir liyasaser. On the night of the 8th day, on the eve of animals being suitable to become karbanos, they can go into the animal pen to have mice taken off them. Adamras teaches us leil shmini kashmini. So it says that you can do it at night, so it must be night is already like the 8th day.
It says Yom Kippur.
Well, Mitzvah Kula, even though usually we say it goes on the daylight, not on the nightfall. That's the chiddush. Time came learned like this also. Kol shiva yom mutar la'achila mi'rechel v'shel truma. All 7 days, he's allowed to give it to eat from the fattest of the truma. Umutar l'selcho b'shemen shel truma. He's allowed to anoint with the oil of truma. So who's this going like? Sounds like the 8th day itself is also, right? That's what it's saying, right? Says the more further. Talmutina, we learned over there. What are the strips of flesh left on on the aver after this meal is done? The makris meal, which make the when the meal unfit. Ravina b'shem Ravina said, "B'chofa rov gova shel ha'atorah." If it covers most of the slanting part of the atorah, Rabbi the part where it comes to like a cone. Rabbi Yossi ben Yossi Omer b'chupa b'chofa rov gaga shel ha'atorah. It's when you totally reveal well, they actually argue what it means. The Chavarot Gova Shel Torah means when the majority of the structure of the length of the Torah is cut off, so then that's no good.
Covered.
No, we're talking about where it got cut off. Khrushchevka here.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, we switch gears. We said, what are the essential components of the bris milah for which you go back? Right? If you didn't cut the first time, right, you go. If the first you don't cut, right, cut again. So what's considered not getting it right? Rabbi Yavina B'Shem Rabbi Yirmiyah said, "B'chofa rov gova shel Torah." If there's still foreskin surrounding most of the height of the Torah, Rabbi Yossi, so that really is just a horizontal line. Rabbi Yossi Ben Yossi Omer b'chofa rov gaga shel Torah goes by the ceiling, I guess. No. Yeah. Well, I have to really explain it. Rov gova is the height. Rov gaga is the area. In other words, rov gova. Let's say this was here the Torah here. This microphone, right? This is the Torah, which means the cone part at the top of the Aver. So rov gova would be if you had from here to here, right? That would be rov gova, and that would be something which you go back and do over again. Rov gaga would be if actually the majority of the surface area, not the majority of the line between the base and the rest of it, but the majority of the surface area would have to be actually the problem. In order for, if he had most of that missing, then he would be possible of a bakal. What were you trying to say?
Circumference.
Well, nobody says circumference. They say either area or height. They don't use circumference. I don't know why not. You're right. I don't know why not. Rabbi Tavi Hashem Shmuel said, how do we know how much is left? So we check him when his Aver goes hard. We check him what we can see, what we can't see. Movlo paras amila. If he didn't mila, but he didn't do priya to rip open afterwards the remainder of the skin. You move foreskin and you rip it. Right?
There's adhesions.
So whatever it is, I don't know exactly. I don't really want to know. So it says here, Movlo paras amila. If he didn't bris milah, he didn't do priya. Kilu l'mouth if he didn't do a milah, because the priya is essential. Okay? Tani, we learned varnish kares. If you didn't get a bris milah, then if you didn't do priya, you didn't rip membrane, which has remained, so then you chayav kares because you haven't done the bris milah properly. Rabbi Yaakov Shenevel said, that's only true if there's not enough time. By the time he mixed up his what? No. Marek means there's not enough time to finish the bris milah. Marek here means finish the bris milah. Aviyesh b'yom kedei marek is enough time to finish the bris milah. So Marek ben Achoshish, you finish the I'm not sure how that works in here. Yeah, he says the only thing you get courage, which could be Michal Shabbos, is if you did the bris and then separately you did the priya. Separately you ripped the membrane. Because then when you rip the membrane, no, that's also not right. The only thing Chayav Kodesh is if you, when at the time you did the bris, you set yourself up that you wouldn't be able to do the priya on the same day, right? Because then you're not continuing the bris milah with the priya. That's why you're Chayav. But if you continue the bris milah with the priya on the same day, you're okay. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, why would it be two stages? Why would you do the bris milah on one day and the priya on the second day?
Well, you shouldn't.
Right.
But you can avoid the prohibition
by doing it both.
By doing both, even they're spread apart.
Who gets the chorus, the father or the son? Or?
Nobody gets chorus in that case.
No, I mean if you didn't do the priya.
The son. Son.
Even though it's not his fault.
Right. So,
Oil's fault.
yeah. So that's the way it goes. I mean, he doesn't necessarily get actual chorus, but he's suitable for chorus, liable for chorus, right? So again, that's only other time shame be young day mark. It's not enough time to finish the job. The young day mark, the mark being a coach so he finishes the job, and it's not a problem. Okay. Says the Gemara, Tani we learn kosher she also mila. As long as you're still involved in cutting by the bris milah, so closer you can go back ben al tzitzim ma'akvim esamila, both on the necessary bits of flesh which must be removed, and ben al tzitzim sheina ma'akvim and on the piece of flesh which do not necessarily have to be removed. Even if you go away and come back, I feel pirish, you can go away, closer and come back. I feel even on the things which are not an impediment, even though not necessary in order for this meal to be considered good. Said, I feel because I feel it's if they're not necessary. Hi, Rabbi Yossi, what did Rabbi Yossi say this? So says the Gemara, I eat the Tnina, Tamos, like we learned of the Rabbi Yossi, in Yotavish and Shulchag, Shabbos B'Shabbos, if Rabbi Yossi says that the first day Sukkot came on Shabbos, Shadal Botzi Salula B'Shus, and you went out because you thought you were turning the Lula permissively, but it's not, B'Shus Harab and Potter, Minei Shotil B'Shus, because you thought you were doing it the right way, for the right reason, even though it turned out you're not. Right? So what does it have to do with well, nothing yet. You'll see. Ab Besak and Shamila came. It's also true about a Mila knife. Okay? Ab Matzah came sold by Matzah. So it means that even if you're yoytz in the mitzvah, if you take it out a second time, you're still potter from Shabbos. Right? I mean, Ma Da'amar Tapa Memavav, Ma Da'amar Rabbi Yochanan, Divrei Rabbi Yosef. Now which Rabbi Yochanan said, name Rabbi Yosef, I feel pirish choyzer, I feel tzitzin she'im makwin samila. Even if he went away, he can go back and do the the necessary stuff. Well, not necessary stuff, but the optional stuff. So obviously there was no imminent need for any other procedure. Yeah, procedure. It's more than that. Saying that a Mila knife, why are you exempt if you carry a Mila knife out into Rishus HaRabim? Because you're making a mistake of what's called Tov B'Dvar Mitzvah. You made a mistake concerning a mitzvah. And 1 second. Got it. Okay. So if Rabbi Yossi held you can go back for the Mila knife, it must be because even if you have no other kids to be mal that day, you can go back and do the additional, the finishing touches, right? So that's how you can go back. You don't have to carry out, but if you carry out your parts because you're told with Dvar Mitzvah, you made a mistake concerning Dvar Mitzvah, right? And that's true also by matzah, right? Even though you don't have to eat any matzah, right? Nevertheless, since there's Indian to eat matzah, so every called Torah B'Dvar Mitzvah if you go out to get matzah, right? So, is that clear?
Yeah, well, on the first night you're supposed to do it.
Yeah, but tell you what, it's like Shabbos, right? You're not supposed to. Okay? So you're still part of a carbon. Now, next topic. Change gears completely. Maybe I'll wake up. Unlikely. It's always hope springs eternal. Im lo yada. Mishnah said, true this. There's no reason for me not to bring it up. Somebody else. Im lo yada. Actually, that's interesting here. I looked up prostate cancer. Im lo yada. Interesting after the other day?
What?
Prostate surgery.
Yeah, I said that.
Yeah, I'll look it up. I'll tell you about it in a second. Says this is what the Mishnah said. The Mishnah said, if you didn't have relations with your wife after you became a p'tuadaka, you had this problem with your genitals. So then you're okay. She's okay. She can eat truma, right? It says the Gemara. By the time didn't have relations there after his genitals were damaged, his wife could still eat truma. Rabbi Lezer said the Rabbi Shimon. It sounds like this Rabbi Lezer, Rabbi Shimon, who said even a one who marries a kohen gadol, she can eat truma as long as they don't consummate the marriage, right? Because she's married to somebody who's allowed to eat truma. So it says Gemara, no. Rabbi Yochanan ben Duri, Rabbi Yochanan said Divrei Koli. Even Rabbanan could agree here. Shani Yochanan shlo hosi ba kinyan acher livso. In other words, he's already married to her, right? Over there, in the case where, what was the case over there? Yeah, the Amar of the Kohen Gadol, right? So over there,
Maybe it's the Khrushchev.
I don't know. Obviously, it doesn't help to stand up. I'm not sure what I'm saying. Says more, let's sit down. Says more. Sorry, I'm so tired today. I'm Rabbi Lezer. So let me go back a line. I'm Rabbi Lezer said the Rabbi Lezer, Rabbi Shimoni. This great Rabbi Lezer, Rabbi Shimon hold that Amona marries a kohen gadol, she can eat truma until they consummate the marriage. But not like Rabbanan. Rabbi Yochanan said Divrei Koli. No, here everybody go this way. Shani Helcha Shein Mosi Shein Shelo Osi Pakinyan Lifso. If Amona marries a kohen gadol, just even kiddushin, it's already a kinyan. And that kinyan makes her possible, even without the bia. That's Rabbanan shita, right? The other shita, Rabbi Lezer said, only the bia, only the relations makes her possible. Rabbanan hold even the kiddushin makes her possible. So here, why doesn't her marriage to this p'tuadaka make her possible? Because her marriage preceded his becoming a p'tuadaka. And the only thing that's happened afterwards is going to damage his marriage, right? There's no kinyan, initial kinyan which passes her. This machlok is same as the next machlok is Tispagu, we learned Shomeres Yovam Kohenes. You have a woman who fell as a widow, Lifnei Shnei Kohanim, in front of two brothers who are Kohanim, Yevamim, or Yevams. Also, my friend did a mimer with her, right? Kedushin Rabbanan. But his people going to the chuppah and wasn't able to get her into the chuppah. Shel Nisuin. Until he became Tuadaka Khrushchev. I skipped. No, I did skip, right. He wasn't able to make her married until he made her until he got
between Mimer and the actual Yibum.
Right.
He became a
Tuadaka. Right. He became a Tuadaka. She's kukal a bia psula poselis, and she's waiting for a bia psula, a bia which is unfit because this guy now no longer married her, so therefore she herself was unfit. Rabbi Yochanan said, like we say from that next week, we'll take it from Monday, we'll take it from here, from Shavuot. Hopefully I'll be more rested. Okay.
That's what Shabbos is for.
Yeah.
Hopefully we're on a different topic for this week.
What?
Hopefully.
No, not too soon, not too soon. I have to sit here and do this over again because I missed the second part of this. I'm just going to be in the tape. I missed forgot to turn over tape and time, so let me start from halacha base. Base of p'tuadaka, what's a p'tuadaka? Kosher p'tuad beitim shel anytime testicles are afflicted. Afilu echamem, even one of them. Khrushchev, a person who's a Khrushchev, is kosher nirkos sagid anytime the aver gets cut off. Nishar batar afilu chuta saira. Even if there's a hairbreadth left, it's kosher. P'tuadaka Khrushchev, if somebody is a P'tuadaka Khrushchev, mutar migeres mishucheres, allowed to marry somebody who's a gioris or mishucheres. somebody's converted or a freed slave, ain't just not allowed to join the regular society of Am Yisrael. Shneimar says, the P'tuah Grushav may not come into the congregation of Hashem. But it said P'tuah, just by P'tuah, it's like Moshe Dayan, he's missing his eye. It's something where next to where he spills, which is of course spilling from urine or something like that. So it's P'tuah b'tzad shavcha. It has to be P'tuah, therefore something wounded in the b'tzad shavcha next to something which spills out. So maybe it's referring to Eino Shebetzad Chotamo, his eye which is next to his nose. Talmud Lomer Dakah, that's why it says Dakah, and Dakah means Shabbat Me'akav, something between his legs. And the Gilin Ephraim says, according to Karban Eidah, means something compressed between his legs, and that would be Dakah with a hay. According to the Pnei Moshe, it means something which hangs low between his legs, and that would be Dakah with an aleph. And that's to explain various different versions of Sefer Torah. There's no lower part on the person. B'shah shehu yoshev, when he sits down, bates of ovad, except for his testicles. The osis makes sense. That the P'tuah Daka is somebody who can't have kids, and it has to do therefore with his aver. Shebekulan ksiv doros, all by all the psulei kohol, it says doros, generations beyond them are also chutz mizeh she'emol not except for him, which of course still can't give birth. Velosov dov anifta is not just true if he had damage of a wound, mocha, even if he got sick. I feel in some way, shape, or form, and shriveled actually is the right word. I feel vesho or dried up. I feel chaser. Ask more if it's missing. Omer, he says, Shmati can be am, heard can be am, because she ain't beitza achas, even though he has one testicle, ain't a molin and can't give birth. Who's rischama, it's considered to be eunuch in the hands of heaven. He still is okay to marry a Jewish woman. Omer, Shamati loch Rabbi Yochanan b'nosh Rabbi Yochanan ben Broka. I heard Allah was like him. I don't know from whom I heard this. Rabbi said, Lo Abba Rabbi Yossi, Shama Lo Mi Bar Nishzir, he would not have heard from a small person, had to hear from a major figure.